I learned this stuff the hard way, which is go out and start screwing up. And I think a lot of us do.
That's the best way to learn sometimes.
Well, you know, it takes a while, but eventually it really sinks in.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, Ron Spomer still here at Standing Stone Kennels, where we're done with, temporarily at least, with the dog work. These are a couple of the master trainers here. We have Jess and Ethan, and they're going to train Covey. In the meantime, I get to train them.
Yes.
This is kind of impromptu, but they just had some questions about rifle shooting. Neither one of them is deeply experienced with rifles. Ethan's done a bit more than Jess, right? But they're both shotgunners and they know how to shoot birds, so we're just going to translate that into rifles. And pardon me if this is a little bit clumsy and mixed up, but we didn't prepare. We just dropped everything down and we're going to flow and go and see. This is a way of teaching rifle shooting. I don't know if it's the best way or even a darn good way, but I should be able to impart some knowledge to you guys because I learned this stuff the hard way, which is go out and start screwing up. And I think a lot of us do.
That's the best way to learn sometimes.
Well, you know, it takes a while, but eventually it really sinks in.
Yeah.
But I think we can cut that short and help you guys get a little quicker with it. So the real basics, obviously, you know this. A rifle shoots a single projectile rather than a bunch of. So you're not looking for a 30-inch spread to hit your target close enough. You're looking for it right on. And that's what a rifle can deliver. And the secret to that is not so much fit in the rifle as it is with a shotgun. As it is control of the shot. And that's mostly trigger control and then not shaking the rifle around. So we'll use any kind of support we can get in the field to steady the rifle. You know, it's great to be Annie Oakley and be able to hit things standing on your hind legs, but it's not easy. So I still, to this day, will use any set of support I can get.
Okay.
So, knowing that, we're going to train trigger, and you can do that with an empty firearm. And I really recommend this. This is one of the easiest and most inexpensive, convenient things you can do because you can do it in your basement. Just make sure your gun is completely unloaded, there's no ammo around, and you can dry fire that thing to learn trigger control and follow through. And by follow through, I mean watch your sights and see where they are on your target when the shot breaks. That's really what I want you guys to think about. You know, with bird shooting, it's all focused on the target. The shotgun fits you and you just put it up and you know it's going to shoot where you're looking. So you focus on that target, you're going to get it. With the rifle, you're putting a sight, whether it's open sights with a post in the front or a scope, you're going to put that on the target, and that's what you need to watch. Crosshair, on target, click, where was it when it broke? Too many shooters, I'm afraid, do what I did when I was younger, which is hope and pray. It looks like it's about in the right spot. Close your eyes and jerk the trigger. That's what we don't want to train to do. So I like to start with a low recoiling rifle. And this is a 22 rimfire. It's inexpensive ammunition. You can shoot a lot. So after you've done a lot of dry fire shooting, you switch over to that and you begin to send bullets down range and you get that satisfaction of seeing them hit the target in tight little groups until you go, wow, I am Annie Oakley. So what we're going to do then is get you guys your rifles and start with positioning, how to hold it and all that good stuff. That comes pretty naturally, but there are a few little tricks we'll cover there. And then we'll do some dry firing before we go live on that target. Okay, Jess has a 22 rifle. You have a 22 rifle. Yours is an autoloader. The magazines are out. Magazines are out. Chambers are empty. Open your actions and see. Lift that bolt up. Pull her back. Make sure there's nothing in there. Yep. Great. Everything's safe. Now we're going to dry fire. Now we're going to work really quickly on position. Let me see you guys throw the rifles up and aim and what you look like here. Okay, now Jess is having a little bit of issue with her eye relief because the rifles may be a little bit too long for her or the scope isn't back far enough. These are things that you will adjust over time. Ethan looks like he knows what he's doing over there, if you can see him. So what we want to do, guys, is put the crosshair on a precise aiming point. You remember that old movie, Aim Small, Miss Small?
What movie was that?
Patriot.
Patriot.
Mel Gibson, I think?
Yes.
That was a pretty good movie. So aim small. So think about tiny, tiny little spot and focus on that and make sure that that crosshair is right on that spot. You're going to notice that it wiggles around. You can't be helped. Your body, your heart beats and you wiggle a little bit. So it's a circle of confusion is what we call that. You just want to make sure that your crosshair is near that center. Don't wait until it's perfectly stable on the center because it'll never happen and then you'll push the shot. You just want to keep it in that general area and increase tension on the trigger until it breaks. When it's pretty close to the center, and you'll usually come awfully surprisingly close. Okay. And what you want to do is keep both eyes open. So a lot of people have trouble with this, and you have to work at it because of the scope. One eye seeing it at 6x or 10x, and the other eye's normal, and you go, whoa. So it takes some practice to be able to do it. But if you can keep both eyes open, that helps you focus on the target a little bit better. Obviously, the eye that's seeing through the scope is going to become your dominant eye, even if it isn't really. For shotgunning, it wouldn't be, but because it's more powerful, it's going to take over. Okay. It should anyway. We'll find out if it doesn't, but I'm sure it's going to work. So, circle of confusion, get it as close as you can, break that trigger, and watch where that crosshair is when it goes click. You should be able to say, I was on the right side, I was below it, or something. So I want you to call your shots. Take your time, call your shot. Okay. Here we go. All right, those are the first shots. What did that look like?
I was below mine.
I would say I was low.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, low is fairly common because you tend to sort of push the rifle forward a little bit when you break the shot. Okay. So if you are gripping your rifles really hard, I would discourage that. You don't want to get a death grip on the darn thing because that adds torque to it and you end up pulling it left or right or down or up. Okay. And anticipating the shot sometimes will do that too. Another good reason to shoot with a 22 or any low recoiling rifle is that you don't get painful recoil or really loud. And you've got your earplugs in, right? Or you will have them in when we go to live ammo. That makes a big difference because a lot of people think they're afraid of recoil and really they're afraid of the noise. So if you can keep your ears nicely plugged, it makes it a lot easier. So all right, now just do about 10 of those click fires and see how well you do and if you improve at all in how you hold.
That one I felt on. Right, but
down and to the left.
All you have to do, yeah, just lift it up and down. You got her, Jess.
Just a little high. My circle is getting smaller.
Excellent. What'd you think, Jeff?
Still low. It makes my left arm feels like fatigued quickly.
Yep. Well, the thing to do if your left arm is fatigued quickly is put the rifle down, relax, because if you hold for too long, that's what happens. And then you start shaking more and it gets worse. So eventually you're going to get to the point where you can raise the rifle, get on target, and narrow that circle of confusion rather quickly and break the shot. Okay. So yeah, don't stand there for a minute hoping that you're going to get better because it won't happen.
High into the right.
Now, when you say high and to the right, Jess, how much? An inch?
So I was aiming for the dead center.
Yeah.
And I was just to the right and above of that outer edge.
Mm-hmm. So you're within probably an inch, inch and a half. I mean, that's going to hit a rabbit every time in the head. So that's good. 25 yards, you know, that's not chump change for the 22. That's just about ideal. Feeling pretty good, are you guys?
Yeah.
Good. All right. And you've kept both eyes open?
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's dry firing it. I think you can see why it would be helpful, even if you're doing it in the house at a doorknob or anything. It just builds that muscle memory as well as your strength and the coordination and all the things that one learns with a new device. Mm-hmm. So dry fire is really important. I recommend you do a lot of it. And now that our students have done some dry firing, we're going to move on to live ammunition. And to see the results of that one, you're going to have to tune in to the next episode of this exciting tale of adventure with learning to shoot rifles. Be sure to tune in on our next one. In the meantime, Ron Spomer here with Ron Spomer Outdoors, inviting you to subscribe to this channel. And you'll find us at ronspomeroutdoors.com for some good blogs on all of this stuff. And we're on the usual social media sites, Facebook and Instagram. Just look up Ron Spomer Outdoors. Become a supporting member at Patreon. If you get that app, you can become a supporting member of Ron Spomer Outdoors. Help us decide on what sort of topics you'd like to see us cover, and we can answer your questions about shooting and ballistics and optics and hunting tactics and anything and everything that has to do with our wonderful outdoors. Until I see you next time, this is Ron Spomer signing off with the usual hunt honest and shoot straight.